everyone! It's been a while, hasn't it? Jesus. Again with the hello, everyone. My name is Deckerlink, the trained unprofessional, and welcome back to Echo! Oh, tits! Hello, everyone in the chat. Man, it's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been a fucking minute. This is bothering me. Fucking, there we go. That's a little better, a little more. It's not tennis ace, it's Echo. Why is everyone saying it's tennis ace? It's not. It's Echo. Isn't the thumbnail Echo? Let me just double check that. The title says Echo, the description says Echo. My day's doing fine. I'm just confused why I was so confused. Why was confusion? I also made sure to check the updates to see. The title is Flynn says TJ Echo number 47. That's what I changed it to. That's fucking weird. I don't know why it's doing that. But I checked the update to make sure that they're compatible with my old save files, so everything should be good. Everything should be fine. Everything should be fine. 2 notifications went out saying they're streaming this and Tennis Ace? That's weird. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Thank you, go on. There shouldn't be 2 notifications. I'm just doing this one. I am not somehow playing 2 games at the same time. That's very weird. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but sorry for the confusion, everyone. Anyway, let's just get into this. How about that? Weird. I glance up through the grid, but I don't see anything. Still, I get the unnerving feeling that the opening is breathing somehow. Is he alright? I don't remember his fucking voice. Julian shouting and running up next to me turns my attention back to TJ. I look down to the links and see his ears twitching around. What? I crouch down next to him, putting a paw behind his head to give him some support. TJ, what happened? Are you okay? What the fuck is this? Blip. Alright. Sorry about that. See, the only reason why I think that it would be Tennis Ace is because the last stream I did was Tennis Ace, so maybe it didn't finish updating by the time I started streaming. I don't know why that is, but this is the only game I'm playing right now. TJ, what happened? Are you okay? TJ turns to me blinking in confusion. Okay, what's wrong? Rubs at his eyes with the back of his paw before adjusting himself so that he can sit up straight. You were just sitting there. You almost looked... Julian pauses. It looked like you were passed out or something. TJ finally seems to focus on us, the dazed look in his eyes disappearing. Passed out? Oh no, I was just taking a quick nap. TJ lets out a short laugh and leans his head back against his backpack. What? Here? I look back at the sealed mine, the ominous blackness still seeming to yawn open at us. Why? Well, it's hotter than usual today, so I started to feel like I was going to pass out. Thought that might be a bad sign to us, so I decided to rest once I got here. There has not been any updates to Adastra as far as I'm aware. Dickerlink. You came here on purpose? Yeah, I saw the canyon with you last time, so I decided to take a trip to the mine this time. TJ smiles lazily up at me as he continues to lounge against his backpack. Sorry I worried you, and... Oh, Julian! TJ seems to suddenly realize that the stag is here. What are you doing here? TJ quickly gets to his feet, sliding his arms out of the straps of his backpack. He hugs Julian. Jealousy! The stag hugging back just as enthusiastically. TJ doesn't even greet me so intimately. I guess they have more of a history than I thought. Hey, Tej. Yeah, I met Chase at the diner. You weren't answering your text, so we both decided to come up and find you. And Chase needs to get some footage for his project. Oh, cool. Do you need help with that, Chase? TJ turns to me with a grin. I don't know what it is, but TJ's acting a lot more chipper than he was yesterday. That almost dark broodiness is gone, replaced by his usual cheer. There's no tennis ace! There's no tennis ace! God damn it! I have to smile because of it, despite the situation just a few minutes ago. Sure. Another breeze of cool air seems to whoosh softly through the rebar. I look back at it. TJ, why the hell would you sleep here next to the creepy mine? TJ frowns. It was really cool. Like, cold. I was laying in the opening and felt some cool air blow out, so I decided to lean against it. It was really nice. TJ walks up to the metal grid and spreads his arms out, clutching out of the bars as he presses his face against it. He leans his head back, pulling a face. Well, it smells really musty, but it feels good. I look back at the opening, the blackness inside sending chills up my spine. There's dead bodies in there! We know this because of the other routes! Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, man. Did I say that? I look a little bit in the dark inside, sending chills up my spine. I think back to when a body was found in there over 100 years ago. Even though I know there aren't any dead bodies in there now, there are! It still creeps me the fuck out. I'm just going to ignore the Tennessee shit at this point because honestly, it was a YouTube glitch. I don't know what the fuck. I try to hide my shudder as I turn away, looking back at the truck. Hey, so are we going to Sydney's old house now? Is that why you guys came to find me? TJ's trying to hide it, but I can hear the eagerness in his voice. I turn back to look at him, the Lynx now with his back to mine, pressed up against it. I want to tell him to move away from the opening, but I wouldn't be able to explain to him why. Let me get some filming done first. I can do the voiceover later, so it'll be quick. I hold back a wince as I realize how much of that time that's going to take. My project is going to be shit at this point. Can't avoid that. Just need to make it to at least the least shit as I can. Oh yeah, sorry. TJ laughs nervously, then looks away. Sorry, I'm just a little loopy from my nap. You guys really surprised me. It's okay. I'm gonna go get my equipment really quick, okay? Alright? TJ nods at me and I jog off to the parked truck to grab my camera. So, TJ might still be acting a little weird, but I'm just glad that he seems happy again. Seeing him the way he was last night was a little unnerving, to say the least. I scoop up my camera bag from the bed of the truck and head back, slowing down to a walk as the heat is already starting to catch up with me. How TJ was able to go on a several-hour-long hike is absurd to me. It almost seems foolish. Especially for someone like TJ who knows how dangerous that can be. When I got back to the mine entrance, I see Julian and TJ sitting with their backs to either side of the opening, chatting with each other. They're eating granola bars, and TJ holds one out to me as I approach. Thanks. Hey, TJ? Huh? TJ looks up at me innocently. If you go on a hike again, be sure to bring me next time, okay? I don't think you should be alone out here. Oh, yeah, sure. His ears droop a little, a small frown on his face. I just don't want you to get hurt, you know? It's really hot today, and it would have been really terrible if you'd passed out alone. Yeah, sorry. I dropped my bag gently on the ground before leaning back against the wall next to the lynx. It's all good. I just want to make sure you're okay. Thanks. I just didn't want to wake you up this morning. Jenna offered to go with you, didn't she? TJ sighs quietly, looking away into the mine. Yeah, but I can tell you guys don't want to go. I just don't want to ruin this trip for you more than I already have. What? TJ, what are you talking about? TJ goes quiet, then shrugs his shoulders. Maybe he isn't back to his old self after all. I wouldn't mind going with you, TJ. I love hiking. I don't know his voice. What the fuck was his voice? Let's go back. Take this moment away from the fucking episode. To go back to my fucking last episode, which was episode 46. There we go. Let's find a moment where... There we go.
I'm very, very sorry to hear that, but thank you for telling me.
Alright, so it's basically Basie TJ. I wouldn't mind going with you, TJ. I love hiking. Julian smiles gently at the lynx. For some reason, I feel a tiny tug of annoyance in my chest. It's stupid, but I was the one who offered first, and I'm the one that took TJ out the first time. Yeah, we could both go. The point is, you don't go out alone next time. All right, Tej? Yeah, okay. Thanks, guys. No problem. A short silence stretches out between the three of us before Julian speaks up again. We were just talking about our old Bible study group. Ugh. Oh yes, Happy New Year. It is the 3rd of 2019. Oh God. The years, they keep flowing by. Like a nice molasses. TJ leans his head back against the wall, rolling his eyes. It's an expression I don't see from him very often. What about it? Oh, just the way that TJ would always take it so seriously and no one else would. Haha. TJ shakes his head in exasperation. Yeah, I never had any control in that club. Oh, really? Were you in charge? Did you get kicked off the swim team? Because I was never on a swim team. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that if you got kicked off the swim team. But now you can get a second job, so that's the silver lining. There you go. It's a little odd to think of TJ in a leadership position like that. I just never knew him to put himself out there in high school. Yeah, I revived it after it sort of went defunct for a few years. Wasn't all that popular. TJ smiles with some embarrassment. Yeah, we had like 3 other members then not including you or me. Yeah, then one dropped out after like 2 meetings. Julian clicks his tongue. What a godless school we went to. Hey! You know I'm kidding. Mostly. Well, I did want atheists to join too, as long as they weren't disruptive. I just wanted to show everyone what a nice experience it could be, even if you didn't believe. I very vaguely remember TJ inviting me to the club and me saying that I'd think about it. I never went, of course. Wasn't all that spiritual in the end, though. Yeah, mostly we just talked and brought snacks. It took TJ a while to realize no one wanted another Sunday school session at actual school. Yep, hours of planning out the window. It was still a great time. I think the four of us are really happier for it. Yeah, I guess. TJ seems to suddenly notice me. Sorry, Chase. You wouldn't know much about this stuff. It's okay. It's interesting to hear about. Again, I get that little twinge of jealousy, even though I know it's not fair. I'd chosen not to show up, probably using that time to go home and hang out with Leo. You didn't miss much, just discussions about movies and watching movies too. They couldn't even be religiously themed. Thank God. Hey! I laugh at how indignant TJ is. Well, I'm glad you had a good time at least. I came away thinking the whole thing was a failure. I think I remember you mentioning that you wished your friend here would have shown up. I don't really remember. Of course you do. You said it all the time. TJ's ears flatten and turn red. Who, me? Yep. Julian grins as TJ tries to look away. Well, the situation is kind of funny. Now I feel even worse about not ever showing up. Sorry, Tej. You know, it was high school and all. Yeah, I understand. Don't worry about it. So, did you start another club at your new school? TJ smirks. It's a Christian school, so there's like 50 clubs about religion. Oh, are you a member of any of them? A few. Which ones? Singles club. Singles? As in finding a date? Sure. He looks away again. It's hilarious how bashful he is about this stuff. He's in college. All of this should be natural to talk about, but not with TJ. Meet anyone? Hey, Chase, don't you have to film some stuff? He looks back at me with a frown. Oh, just asking. Julian chuckles quietly. I bend down and start pulling out my equipment, deciding that a few long shots with the tripod should be enough. As I'm extending out the legs, Julian asks TJ about the hike. Was it fun? TJ shrugs, finishing the last of his granola bar and pushing his paws together to get rid of the crumbs. It was okay. It was really quiet. I wince as one of my pads gets pinched between the metal. Kinda creepy, to be honest. I would like it if you two went along sometime, if I do it again. Of course. Yeah, definitely. Over the next 20 minutes, I set up the camera in 3 different spots, getting about 1 minute of film for each. TJ and Julian went to sit in the truck while I do, and whenever I glanced at them, they seemed to be animatedly chatting and laughing. Once I'm done, I sigh and quickly snap the legs back down into the bag along with the camera. I see my to-go box in the dirt and consider picking it up, but I don't. Oh, I drop the bag into the truck again before hopping into the passenger seat, leaving TJ to sit between the two of us. They go quiet as we start pulling out onto the dirt road. What are you guys talking about? Not much, just about high school. TJ nods. Again, I'm starting to feel a little left out between the two, kind of like a third wheel. So, what's the plan now? Well, we thought we might go to the house now after we pick up Jenna and Carl. Alright. We drive in silence a little while. For some reason, I start to wish that I was sitting in the middle. The way Julian keeps turning the wheel forces his elbow to brush up against TJ's side, and I force myself to look away, wondering what the fuck I'm thinking. I'm treating TJ like he's something that belongs to me. We've only hung out recently over the course of this week. I barely talked to him in the past 2 years. Force myself to look ahead, out the windshield. Then TJ's phone buzzes and my eyes naturally go to the screen as the Lynx whips it out. I see the name Flynn and the message underneath it. I only have time to see a few words. You know, his fucking tell me. TJ jerks his phone back down and I look away just as I feel the Lynx's eyes on my face. I wonder if he saw me looking, and I'm sure he did. That didn't really matter, though, because now I'm wondering what the fuck Flynn thinks he's doing. They've been staying away from each other for the past few days, obviously, but I guess Flynn found another way to get to TJ. I wonder what the fuck he think he's doing. I feel myself getting angry. Angry. Don't exactly know what the lizard is saying to TJ, but judging by what I saw, it's definitely not good. I make a mental note to ask TJ about it tonight. If he won't tell me, then I'll let Leo know. He'll do something about it. We all walk up to the sidewalk in the old ranch-style house. It's been a long, long time since I've seen this place. Even longer since I've walked on this path. Sydney's house is up the gravel road behind the forest. It's a bit of an odd spot, secluded from the rest of the town. It's all the better for us, I guess. It's nice not to be reminded of what happened. Guys, I don't know about this. You think he's gonna let us in?
What else can we do?
Maybe Sydney didn't mean his room?
Where else would he sleep?
I don't know.
I mean, he'd nap in random places, if I remember right. Like, he slept on my couch, even. Stop it, Chase. You know that's not what he meant.
Well, who knows?
I do. I know where it is.
That dark edge to TJ's voice is creeping in again. I suppose there's no harm in asking.
You can't deny that it's a little weird for 5 young adults to just show up on your doorstep asking to be let in. We don't have much of a choice, though, do we? TJ's walking ahead of us, marching up to the concrete steps without hesitation before immediately ringing the bell.
Oh, wait, we didn't even think of what we're gonna say.
I already know what I'm gonna say.
We stand there in stunned silence for a bit and look around to the others. Carl looks completely uncomfortable, almost nauseous, his paws shoved deep into his pockets as he stares hard at the ground. Jenna is staring at TJ, her brow furrowed, clearly worried. Julian just stands there as if the situation doesn't bother him at all. The door finally opens, revealing a young red panda, not much older than ourselves. He blinks at us, then fixes a smile on his face.
Hello? Can I help you?
I see TJ's ears flatten down for a moment, his originally tough resolve clearly faltering.
Hello?
The red panda stares down at TJ for a moment, waiting expectantly. I don't recognize him, and I'm sure I would have seen him around town if he had moved in after Sydney's parents moved out. It must have been sometime recently, a few years ago. I decided that I should step in and let TJ try and gather his wits. Hi, I'm Chase, this is TJ, and Carl, Jenna, and Julian. I point to everyone, feeling my cheeks grow hot.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ingy.
Another moment of awkward silence before I try to think of something else to say. The hell do you bring up wanting to search someone's house because it belonged to your dead friend? As I'm trying to figure that out, TJ speaks up again.
Our old friend used to live here about 12 years ago.
Ingy. Oh, really? Oh, what the fuck? Panda seems to think. Are you talking about Cindy?
Sydney. Yeah, he was our friend.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't remember the name. I thought his aunt told me about what happened. I think his aunt told me about what happened. Oh, Jesus, great. Also, text error, just so you know what's going on.
Yes, and he left something behind for us in his room. Is it all right if we come in and look for it?
Ingy's originally inquisitive look is replaced by one of confusion and definitely a little bit of suspicion. Oh, all of you? I notice Carl's still staring hard at the floor, his paws twisting in his pockets.
If that's all right with you.
And she stares at all of us for a good 10 seconds, causing even me to glance down at the floor, realizing how stupid all of this is. Finally, he starts to step back, closing the door a little bit as he does. I'm sorry, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Wait!
TJ steps forward, his fur bristling. The panda jumps a little, closing the door further until the point where I can only see one of his eyes.
Sorry, it's just... Maybe I could come in and the rest of my friends wait outside. This will be really quick. I know exactly where to look.
Panda's one eye looks back at us. TJ turns around and makes a shooting gesture with both paws. There's a pause. Then we stumble back a little, down the steps onto the sidewalk. My face burns again in embarrassment, realizing what a bunch of crazy people we look like right now.
I look back and see TJ standing alone on the porch, looking back at the red panda, his paws clasped together. Again, what feels like a very long silence seems to drag on until Angie opens the door slightly. You know what? Why don't you just tell me where it is and I'll have a look. Oh, yeah. TJ seems surprised, as if only now considering that idea. It's the room on the left, down the hallway. TJ points at the door at an angle. In the closet, in the back corner. It might be in a box. Angie's facial expression mirrors mine as I frown. A box in the closet, sitting there for over a decade. Alright, I'll have a look. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, Chef, thank you. Welcome back, we missed you. I appreciate that. I missed you guys too. God damn it, I missed you guys. I did this shit every day. You know how fucking hard it is to go from every day doing something to not doing it at all? Oh my god. God damn, I'm glad to be back. Angie disappears behind the door and I hear a deadbolt slide into place. We stand there in silence for a while before Carl breaks it. Dude, he's calling the police. No, he's not. We look like a bunch of crazy people. We should leave. Not until he comes back out. I think I'm gonna be sick. I think it's technically okay unless he tells us to leave. He did say he's going to look for it. No harm in just waiting for his answer. As he bleh, bleh, bleh. I see Carl scuff his hooves against the pavement, looking around nervously. I wonder if he's had too much weed or something. Why do you think it's in the closet? He used the shoebox in there as a spot for his treasure hunts before, you remember. I vaguely do, now that he mentions it, but I'm surprised TJ does. He was even younger. The door opens and Ingy comes back out. His facial expression is completely different now. It's one of amazement and disbelief. But it's what's in his paws that catches my attention. It's a teal-colored shoebox, old and worn and torn through the corners. My mouth drops. Ingy stands there for a moment, holding the box out. Is this it? It's not mine, and there's a piece of paper inside. TJ's paws shake as he reaches out to take the box, lifting the lid to look inside. It was in the spot that you said. I've never seen that before. I feel my stomach twist, more dismayed than anything that he found something. Do you not use that closet? It's a bit of an odd question, but I know how the hell he might have missed it. But I want to know how the hell he might have missed it. And she shakes his head. No, not really. It's mostly a storage room right now. I think I've opened it a few times to put some boxes on the shelf, but I can't really remember. Do you not look inside when you first moved in? And she looks at me, and so does TJ over his shoulder. I guess now I'm starting sounding like the crazy person. Well, I can't really remember. It was a couple of years ago. I had family help me move in, so maybe they just thought it was mine if they saw it. I want to ask more, but I bite my lip, not wanting to seem as frustrated and suspicious as I am. It's definitely something I could have missed. I've found a few things in the crawl space from the last family. Who lived here before you, if you don't mind me asking? Ingy leans against the doorway, his arms folded, looking a lot more relaxed now. It was the family you're talking about, I think. The Bronsons? Yes. DJ's still looking down at the box, not having taken out the note. Yep, the woman who lived here moved out right before what happened, then his sister moved in. She told me about what happened when I bought the place. And she looks down at the box that TJ's holding. Do you know what he left you? How did you know how to find it? It's an old scavenger hunt that we found. It told us to come here. Like something he left behind? Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm sorry about what happened to your friend. You must have been children at the time. No one says anything, so I nod for him. I'm sorry. Also, sorry for being so suspicious when you guys showed up. Thought I caught someone trying to break in a few days back. Can't be too careful. Don't worry about it. That's completely understandable. Ingy nods and shifts around. I don't want to pry, but what does it say? I didn't read it since I don't want to intrude or anything. She lifts the lids again,
and reaches in and pulls out the piece of paper. It's identical to the others that we've seen. And she takes the box from the link so he can use both paws to unfold the note. Then he starts reading.
I hope that you're all having fun. Soon you'll know what Chase has done. Figure it out. It's a piece of cake. If you can't, look by Carl's drawing at the lake. It goes quiet for a while. Only the sound is rustling through the trees. Then you hear a gagging sound and look back in time to see Carl hurling into some bushes. TJ is strangely calm as we sit in the motel room. It's been about half an hour since we found the last note. After Carl lost his lunch in the bushes, Julian drove him back home and we had to put the scavenger hunt on hold. TJ wants us all to be there for it. Julian is still with us and I keep wondering when the hell he's going to go home. He just joined our little group today and TJ acts like he needs to be a part of it for some reason. He barely even knew Sydney. But that doesn't really seem to matter. The whole thing is so ridiculous. It's so obvious that Sydney had nothing to do with this scavenger hunt. Someone's planting these damn notes and they have it out for me. I sit with my back against the headboard of the bed, staring at my legs, and TJ tries to defend this whole thing. If it's really bothering you, Chase, then you don't have to come. I bristle a bit. You were insisting that everyone else go, why not me? I force myself not to look over at Julian. I do want you to come, but you're so angry. I've never seen you like this. Oh, I have. We all have. Chase is just acting like his old self now. Jenna sits in the corner of the laptop as usual, smirking. Pisses me the fuck off. Listen, whoever's been writing these has it out for me. Look at what the last one said. Sydney wrote them, and he always kind of teased you. It's just like him. I go quiet, looking away with a glare. What do you think the clues are implying about you, Chase? I look for a moment, but it's hard with all the anger that keeps threatening to bubble up to the surface. I don't know. I just don't like the sound of it, and honestly, I'm trying to think of the right way to word it. What am I going to say? If you respect me, you'd see that and stop this stupid hunt. He goes quiet for a moment, then Julian stands up. Hey, I'm gonna head out. Let me know what you guys decide to do tomorrow. I've got the whole day off. Oh, okay, man. Thanks for coming with us. TJ gives the stag a side hug, and I try to keep myself from bristling. Once Julian leaves out the door, TJ sits on the foot of the bed looking at me. I completely respect you, Chase. But I really think these are from Sydney. He's just teasing you. I don't say anything, choosing to look at the wall, feeling more unnerved by my own emotions than anything else. I don't feel like myself at all. I know I asked you this morning, but if you... What the fuck? Oh, Claudia Mara has arrived. Thank you for the subscribe. I know I asked you this morning, but if you think this is someone else's doing, who could it be? Jenna crosses her arms, looking at me earnestly. I sit there quietly for a moment, debating on whether or not I should tell them. I decide I have to, since neither of the others seem to see it. I think it's Flynn. What? I think it's Flynn. And Carl. They're doing this whole thing. You can't be serious. Who else? Carl's the one that found the first note. I think Flynn gave it to him. The looks on Jenna and TJ's faces make me look away again. Am I going crazy? Chase, that's crazy, I know, but you saw how Carl was acting today, how nervous he was. He even threw up. Carl does that sometimes. Ugh. I slide my legs off the bed and let them hang over the side, fully facing the wall now. I know how Flynn was back at the river, but even he wouldn't do that. I look back at TJ with a glare. What about those texts he's sending you? What? TJ's paw flies into his pocket, a shocked look on his face. Jenna looks between us. What? Flynn sent TJ a text swearing at him. I think he's been messaging you this whole time. TJ's quiet, just staring at me. TJ, is this true? TJ stares at the floor a moment before finally looking up, his voice oddly calm. Yeah, well, he's angry. Of course he would be. But he has no reason to be riding this scavenger hunt. Flynn would never do that. Are you sure about that? TJ glares back at me, and now I can tell I've made him angry. Yes. Why would he do it in the first place? I don't have to think hard on that one. To hurt TJ, to ruin our friendship by making up lies about me, to just be a complete dick, take your pick. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't say anything, choosing to glare at the wall. Jenna looks between us again and shakes her head. All right, that's enough of this. Neither of you are acting like yourselves, so I think it's best we head to bed, all right? Whatever. I slide into the bed on my side, still staring at the wall, listening as TJ gets up and goes into the bathroom. Jenna goes on typing on her computer. I lay there quietly, deciding that I'm going to have to do something to stop this. Is that the end of the update? Oh no! Sneaking out of the motel room is probably the hardest part. I know that if they catch me at any point, it's over. At about 3 a.m., I slide out of the bed, listening to TJ snores and watching Jenna unmoving form curled up on the bed in front of me. Quietly, I dig around in my bag for my keys and slip out the door and into the night. I grit my teeth as my car starts up, imagining TJ and Jenna pulling back the curtains and seeing me sitting in my car. I've got excuses. I'm sick. I had to drive to the emergency room, or even that I couldn't sleep and wanted to get a snack somewhere. They're all suspicious, but should be enough to cover my ass if things go south. I'll drive along the quiet road. My surroundings almost black since the moon has set. It takes me a moment to find the side road that will take me to the shore. Once I do, I see one lonely orange light standing in the middle of the parking lot, but I park in the corner in the darkness. I sit in the car for a while, wondering what I'm doing, wondering what the fuck I'm gonna do. But something drives me, a feeling that if I don't do this, then the rest of my life is going to be ruined. I can't let that happen. I open the door and quickly get out. I pull out my phone and turn on the light, finding the small dirt trail that leads to the inky blackness. The air is cool, and I can smell the lake. Pretty soon I can hear it too, the soft, desolate sounds of the waves running against the thin strip of shore. It's peaceful, but at the same time it terrifies me, and for a moment I feel like the lake is one giant living thing. It dwarfs me with its presence, a giant, all-knowing thing. It knows I'm here. I shudder and force myself to continue. I find the shoreline, and the dry sand shifts under my feet as I take a right and follow the shore. I try to ignore the sounds of the lake, that feeling that it's watching me, beckoning me towards it. Finally, I come across the boulder that I'm looking for. The one that Carl used to carve his drawings into. Of course, it would be something Carl used. That fat piece of shit. Thanks. Fuck, hold on. I kneel down beside it, moving the light of my phone around until I find the drawings. I look at the super wolf etched into the rock, glaring. I see a glint of light above it. I shift the phone up to see what it is. I gasp and I can't help a ragged scream from escaping my throat. A tarantula sits there, staring back at me, its cluster of eyes shining back into the darkness. I stumble back into the sand and fall, sitting down hard and causing my teeth to clack together. Ah! I scramble back up. I look around for a rock and quickly find one. When I turn back around and lift the light, the spider is gone. I look around for a while in case it just moved around, maybe on the ground closer to me. I don't see anything though, and I throw the rock at the lake, cursing the damn thing. Then I kneel down and look at the spot between the rocky ground and the boulder. Takes a few moments, and I have to get real close, looking deeper into the crevice, and then there's a glint of what looks like metal. I start to dig, first with my bare hands, then with the help of the flat rock laying nearby. I'm sweating and gasping by the time I pull the thing free. It looks like an old lunchbox. I shine a light on it, and I can barely make out what looks like a cartoon dragon. I open it and pull out the note. I read it. In a fit of rage, I tear the stupid thing in half, throwing it on the ground. You fucker! I hiss it out through my teeth and pull out the piece of paper I had just taken out of Jenna's notebooks along with a pen. I write for a moment, using the old lunchbox as a flat surface. When I'm done, I drop it into the box and wedge the box into the crevice, covering it up with the loose dirt I had moved. I pack it down and stand back up. Thinking twice, I pick up the shredded note and stuff it into my pocket. Then I walk back up to the shore and up the trail, ignoring what looks like the eyes of tarantulas all around me. Maybe it's just stars. I don't remember much of the drive back, or the parking lot of the motel. The next thing I know, I'm standing next to the bed, glaring down at TJ, watching him sleep. Now it's the end of the... Yep, now it's the... So, we don't know what the fuck the old note said, but we know that he wrote a new note and replaced it. God damn. God dizzity damn. Well, that was it for the TJ update. Now, if you saw the title, it says Flynn/TJ. That's because we're also going to be looking at the TJ update. Yay! The Flynn update. Fuck. I should go. Ugh. There we go. It said in the update note that Flynn isn't even in this update, so I won't have to use this voice, I guess. God damn. I step outside. The air is still kind of hazy, and the smell of hot dogs is pretty palpable. I look over across the yard, and TJ and Jenna are sitting at the table. TJ's munching down on his third helping of cut-up hot dogs, while Jenna sits up top with her feet hanging off the side. It's kind of funny how small she is, like she never grew up past the age of 13. My mind drifts back to the other Fenix at the smoke room, and they all kind of had that youthful appearance to them. Part of me wonders if that's part of the appeal. I'm surprised you were so comfortable walking around in there. I glance over my shoulder, looking back at the weather-worn house. Huh? Why? The spiders? You're still afraid of them, right? I'd been trying not to think about that the whole time, actually. I felt like there were lots of them in the house, even when I lived there, and that was with my parents bug-bombing the place every month. I resist the urge to reach down and rub my feet in case there were any walking around in my fur. Not, like, deathly. I cross my arms over my chest, tugging some of the fabric of my shirt. Right, of course. TJ snickers some. TJ pulls out her phone, beginning to tap away at the digital keypad. By the way, we found something else that might help you with your project. Oh? It's in my purse. Could you go grab it? Sure, what is it? Jenna doesn't answer, continuing her texting. TJ, meanwhile, seems to be grinning at his empty ketchup-covered plate. Oh, is this going to be that fucking... It's going to be a prank, isn't it? Jenna? Move over to the purse, unbuttoning the main flap. Always been a bit wary about going through girls' purses for obvious reasons. First thing I noticed, though, was a piece of folded paper with Chase written on the capital letters on the top. It looks like there's something wedged inside of it as well. Curious, I pull back the top of the paper and feel something fuzzy against my paw pads, and the bristling sensation, thin, prodding little things tickle up the fur of my fingers and squeeze one, and I yank it up. Dangling before me is an orange and black tarantula that's limbs bouncing from sudden pull of the force. Jesus fuck, they did it again. You fucking fucks, it's not cool. I toss it down to the dirt, seeming to bounce right back up and land sideways on my foot. I scramble back, kicking at it as much force as I can muster. Shit! My chest heaves as I feel like my heart is about to burst from my chest. The tarantula doesn't move, and that's when I realize Jenna and TJ are grinning at me. Jenna has her phone pointed in my direction. Jesus, she's filming this. Language, it's just rubber, Chase. That? I pointed at the limp, 8-legged thing that's now 3 yards away, stuck in the patch of goat head brambles. That is not funny. It is, actually. Oh, I'm sorry, Chase. It was Jenna's idea. It was 99 cents in the gas station we stopped back in the Two Canyons. No wonder you two wouldn't let me see what you bought. Did you guys actually have anything for me? I mean, regarding my project? TJ begins to look even more guilty. Jenna sets her phone down and goes about reclasping her purse. Not really, Chase. As you said, there wasn't much information about that 1877 happening. Most search results directed us towards dubious ghost hunting websites with no source for veracity that could be utilized in a formal report. Well, I sigh, stilling my swaying tail and feeling calm once again. Was there anything that could be used in a non-formal report? Defendant cocks her head, her eyes seeming to look right through me as she thinks, before meeting my gaze once again. What do you want to know more about? The UFO spotted over Echo Canyon by a group of night hikers? The Masada ghost woman who wanders along the edge of the res, seducing men before impaling them on the branches of mesquite trees? Or perhaps the Mothman, who now apparently has been seen driving a semi-truck down Route 93 at midnight? Maybe he needed a side job. The economy has been tough lately. Let out an exasperated noise. Okay, I get your point. Although there were lots of mentions of the riots here. That includes the happenings in 1915, as well as some other unsourced stuff about violence after World War II. Just a general perception that we're all a bunch of desert malcontents living in some sort of Sodom and Gomorrah style situation for a century. Sounds about right. We even had a famous brothel that served all the miners in the area. A brothel? I look at TJ, who's frowning acknowledgingly. Does he really not know? It's a place where they make broth and other kinds of soup. I know what a brothel is. Jenna merely smirks and shakes her head. It was called the Smoke Room. Wait, what? I tense up and they seem to notice. Chase, is something wrong? The Smoke Room. Yeah. That still exists. I was there last night. You went to a brothel last night. Jenna says this less as a question and more of a deadpan matter of fact. What? No, it was this bar that Flynn went to. It's right north of the reservation. There's no sign for it or anything. It's just some sort of gay bar? A gay bar? In this county? At least that's what it seemed like it was. I shrugged, trying to phrase this as carefully as I can without giving too much of the details. Everything smelled like cigarettes, and there was this really shady back room that they called the Smoke Room. That's... Jenna presses her knuckle into her lower lip, seemingly in thought. She glances up towards me after a moment. Interesting. With that look, I regret bringing it up already. Jenna seems to be maintaining this sort of intrigued expression. I begin bracing for any follow-up questions. What sort of music did they play there? Surprisingly, TJ is the first to speak. I don't see any sign of judgment on his face either, just genuine curiosity. Oh, it was sort of weird, actually. It was this sort of droning, bassy synth stuff. Really? Yeah, never heard anything like it. It was kind of loud, too. Not sure why you're asking. It's TJ's turn to shrug. Just curious. So, you went to a gay bar with Flynn named after an old famous brothel. I exhale, resting my paws on the edge of the table. It's not like that. Like what? Daxton, Carl, and I followed him after he left us in the middle of a hanging out last night. But he sort of Well, I think he was trying to invite me to go along with him in his own sort of way. He left his phone behind with just one text message on it with the address. I think he wanted to see if I was interested enough to snoop through his phone instead of outright inviting me. It's hard to explain. Oh no, I understand completely. That sounds quite like Flynn. Very non-committal and giving himself something that he can hold against you, if need be, to protect himself from having any semblance of vulnerability. Jenna rubs the bridge of her small nose, still seemingly frustrated with Flynn's behavior. She reaches down, picking up a paper plate from beside her and shoving it into a plastic bag. I'm ready to head back to the motel. Chase, are you coming? Oh, sure. TJ begins cleaning up as well, moving to drag the picnic table back to its appropriate yard. I help. Fade out, fade out, fade out, motherfucker! I sit cross-legged on the edge of the bed with a notebook in my lap. I'm sort of half planning out my script and half kicking myself for not doing a lot of this preliminary stuff earlier. I'm also kicking myself for not getting any scans of the photos and the documents I found in City Hall. The B-roll I've got doesn't quite cut it. Having actual historical papers with pictures of Echo inhabitants that aren't available online might actually look good for my portfolio. At least that's what Jenna said. I kind of doubt that they're open on Saturday, so I'd have to talk to Flynn. And Flynn still wants me to assist him with his whole interrogation he has planned. Or at least stay out of the way. For now, I just want to focus on my project. Currently, Jenna is tapping away at her laptop on the side of the room, although she seems more distracted than she was at the beginning of this trip. TJ has the TV on to some behind-the-album rock music history show that he's pretty engrossed in by the looks of it. He lays beside me, his back propped up by my pillows. After a few more scribblings for my outro, I toss aside the notebook and slink on over to the other side of the room. Take a few packets of the candy egg oatmeal that we've got about 20 of and empty them onto the complimentary styrofoam bowls on the table. I know it's for the kids, but I've always kind of liked this stuff. So does Bri, actually. She gets those specifically, the dinosaur ones. I'm a sucker for anything that's bland as hell with the tiniest bit of sweet add-ins, like the oat bran cereal with dehydrated marshmallow bits. I fill the bowl with water about a centimeter higher than the top of the oatmeal. I left a little bit of maple cinnamon dust rises from the mixture. Hopefully this pack isn't too old. I didn't check on the expiration date before grabbing it for my dorm room. I bring the mixture to the microwave and set it for 1 minute. On the TV, some raccoon is talking about how their music videos went viral back in 2006 and how the fame went to the bandmate's head. It's weird to think that 2006 was nearly 10 years ago at this point. I remember watching shows like this with my mom as a kid, and they were always about hair metal bands from the 80s and 90s. Each episode was full of grainy, old-packed film photographs of the alleged happier days of the famous Focus superstar. Has me thinking about how much stuff like that there is from my childhood. There's nearly a gig of video... A gig? Oh, yeah, a gigabyte. Of videos on my old laptop ranging from home movies, machinima, to class projects I did with the group. Plus, all my social media posts are still there. It's not like those days are faded memories from a sepia-tinted photo roll picture. It's right there in full 1024 by 768 aspect ratio a few clicks away. Why not go to full 1080? Yeah, what's wrong with that? Oh, I just realized that's the aspect ratio I fucking make for my thumbnails. Because 1080 is too big for... That's a weird coincidence. That's a weird fucking coincidence. Maybe that's why I don't think about Echo with as much nostalgia as someone like TJ, or well, Leo for sure. Speaking of, I checked my phone a little while ago. He hasn't texted me. Microwave beeps and I take the oatmeal out of the microwave. The directions say to leave it in for 2.5 minutes, but I always think it's like overkill. I like it a bit soupy. I'm gonna take a shower. Do you guys want anything? I blink. What? Teacher stares blankly at us. Do we want anything from the shower? Jen, after a couple of seconds, looks up from her laptop at the links. TJ? He looks as if he's come to some realization, then quickly covers his face with his paw. I meant... Forget that I said the second part. I shift awkwardly, a bowl of oatmeal in paw. I didn't get much sleep last night. Jenna sighs. It's okay, neither did I. I didn't wake you guys when I got in, did I? No, we were already pretty much awake. That man shouting in the parking lot was making me uneasy. I didn't hear any of that. Jenna lowers the top of her laptop some, though not closing it all the way. It started a little before midnight. You hadn't arrived yet. It sounded like he was walking around all around the motel. He even screamed at our window. Was he yelling anything in specific? No, he was just shouting. I heard a few words here or there, but it never was like any full sentences or anything. He just sounded really, really mad. Or sad. TJ pauses, looking at the bowl I'm holding. Or scared? I don't know. Part of me wanted to call Leo. I can't help but smile a little at that. Really? Oh. I didn't actually. Leo the Protector. I can't believe all this time TJ still sees Leo that way. I called the police. They said they'd send a patrol car, but I never saw one show up. Yeah, eventually just left. A little before you showed up, actually. Feels like everyone's on drugs in this town now. Now? Jenna retorts, looking at me with a raised brow. Well, I mean, it wasn't always this strange, was it? Even back growing up, I'd still wager that at least a third of the population was on heroin or worse. It comes with the territory. But I will say, I do somewhat agree with you. Echo depopulated by around 100 people since I was born. That in itself, and the other 2/3 of the population. Those that remained didn't have the same level of general township community that we once had, what little that it was. TJ nods, rubbing it at his wrists and looking towards the drape-covered window facing the parking lot. I remember when we used to have our own grocery store. Oh, speaking of, we ate at the diner after the hike yesterday. Julian works there and now is a busboy. You remember him, right? I think for a moment. Was he the green reptile kid who peed himself in AP Lit? TJ looks a little gassed. What? No! Then I don't know him. That was Cody. Wait, the Cody you dated? Jenna makes a slightly disgusted noise, shaking her head. You're thinking of upstate Cody. I never got to meet him. Yes, well... Jenna lets out a little puff of air, pushing up her laptop screen again and typing something. Neither did I. She stops for a moment, turning back to look at me. May I have some of that? My oatmeal? Sure. I hand her the still warm styrofoam bowl with a spoon. Damn it, I wanted that. And of course she's digging out all the sugar dinosaur eggs first. So, right, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Julian was telling us that the diner will still probably end up closing down at the end of this year. And maybe if they're lucky. It's like the last business in town besides the motel. The last legitimate business, you mean? I see Jenna nod before taking another bite of my oatmeal. It's no wonder that the people act weird. Even Leo, Carl, and definitely Flynn are different. Did you guys see Janice again after what happened on the road? TJ nods uneasily, the Lynx beginning to busy himself gathering up a fresh set of clothes. I asked her if she was okay or needed any help, and she said she was fine. Great, even. But she looked really bad. TJ picks up some of the red pajama pants that have faded little Christmas ornament symbols stitched in around the bottoms and pine tree decals on the waist. He also, a bit more discreetly, grabs a pair of bright red underwear and quickly hides them in the folds of the pants. I wonder if he's matching the two intentionally. And I don't mean like ugly, I mean she was kind of grimy and smelled like raw meat. She was definitely on something, TJ. I hope not. TJ turns, shuffling himself into the bathroom. The door shuts. You know... Jenna sits up some. I think it was Clint. Jenna is speaking to me, but her eyes are on her laptop. Huh? The man outside that was screaming. At first I thought he had Jeremy with him, and God, just the thought of that makes me want to get out of this town and not look back. I don't blame you, but Clint? Judging from popular television growing up, it seems like everyone alive has had a childhood bully, some with multiple. We had Clint and his little gang of assholes, Jeremy, Micah, well, even Heather sometimes.
Thing is, in a town of 50 people, escaping your bullies is near impossible. I know that for a fact! They're everywhere. They hate you, they hurt you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Until Leo did something about it. Well, I never had a fucking Leo. I still remember the squelching noises Clint made as Leo hit him over and over again outside of his own trailer. Leo didn't speak any English, and they were all a couple years older than us, but that didn't stop him. I didn't know things would have turned out if... I don't know how things would have turned out if he never moved here. The voice, it had a certain cadence to it that reminded me of him. I resigned myself to the notion that Jenna has eaten all of my oatmeal at this point. We go over to the microwave and grab another styrofoam bowl and a couple of more packets. I can already tell that there's not going to be enough left for really be satisfying. I assume you haven't gone to see Jeremy and the rest of the family either then. No, and I doubt I will. By the way, how are you doing? I look over my shoulder. She seems to be deciding on the font for whatever she's typing away at. Catching my glance, she meets my gaze for just a moment. And I don't just mean in general. Any sleep issues? And of course, she changes the topic just like that. Sleep issues, as she calls them for my sake. I pour some water on the oatmeal. No paralysis, just sort of strange, really lucid dreams. I think my subconscious wants me to shave off my goatee. This may be the one time where you should listen to the voices in your head. I make a growling noise that comes out less intimidating than I intended. Jenna doesn't look up. What are those dreams like? I let out a long exhale, placing the oatmeal in the microwave. I don't know. I think I'm just tired and it's mixing badly with my current mental state. I've been kind of crawling in my skin since I got here. I saw a face behind someone's shoulder that really wasn't really there last night. It wasn't something I thought about much at the time. I was already upset, but the more I dwelled on it, I don't know. I shrug, waving dismissively as I take my bowl. When I look at Jenna again, I see the fur on her neck is lifted a little. Probably just the angle, though. You right? Jenna looks back at me. I can tell she's debating whether or not to tell me something. I wait. Just made me think about when I was a kid. Hadn't thought about it for years, actually. I pause. Do you want to talk about it? I'm worried I'm about to open a can of worms. It wasn't traumatizing or anything like that. Well, it was, actually, but it wasn't real. Did you see a face? Yeah. It was a reddish color. Flat, too. Oh. Yeah. It had a body as well, but I can't really remember exactly what it was like. Did you dream it? No, not really a dream. At least not in the sense that I was asleep when it happened. I just see it walking around in broad daylight sometimes. The hell? Are these, real, solid memories, like it really happened? I don't know. It usually happened when I was sad or angry, like when Dad was having one of his moments. You mentioning that you saw something while you were upset reminded me of it. I just see it walk past the doorway or sit in a closet. Really? What the fuck? This was a long time ago, like when I was 5. I don't want you to think I'm crazy, Chase. I don't. I saw things too as a kid. I mean, more things. Yeah, I think you told me. I had, and it's something that I really don't want to think about right now. I'm pretty sure it's just something that my mind made up because I was under a lot of stress. The brain can make up whatever it wants, really. Part of the reason I went into the field that I did. I want to help figure these things out. Do you see it anymore? At all? She's quiet for a while, then shakes her head. No. Saturday. What the fuck? What? What? This is the beginning of the last day for Flynn's route? And it starts with a boxing ring? Or wrestling ring. Usually wrestling has a little more space between the crowd and the audience, between the crowd and the ring. I stand above the turnbuckle, holding my arms high above my head and flicking my strong tail behind me. I hear a lot of boos in the crowd, and that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, it's wrestling. I'm a bad guy, or rudo, as they call it here. What? I'm not actually a bad guy for real, though. It's just an act. So it's wrestling. The flashing of cameras is a little distracting, but it's nothing I can't handle. You know, in America, that's called a heel. Nah, rudo, I guess that maybe that's Mexican. In Mexican wrestling is very. I know that's not the fucking language. Mexican is not the language. I'm just talking about Mexican culture. Wrestling is huge in Mexican culture. I don't know what a heel is called there. Maybe it's called rudo. I don't know. I am good at keeping cool. I reach up, making sure my mask is secure. That's another big staple of... It's lucha libre. Mexican wrestling. Making sure my mask is secure. Even my muzzle is covered. I can't risk my identity being revealed. Especially in a match against Tigre Santos. El Santo. Huge wrestling figure from Mexico. He's one of the technicos, the good guys. A real goody tissues? Goody tissues. Goody two-shoes. Fucking really. I don't trust him. He's too good. I don't trust people that are too good. They're always hiding something. The announcer says something in Spanish that I don't understand, and I growl, flexing my giant muscles towards nobody in particular. Tigre has been staring at me from across the ring this whole time. No showboating, though, and that's not his character. At like 7.5 feet tall, I'm totally bigger than him. He's only 5'6", so I could basically eat him for breakfast. The crowds always cheer for the smaller guy, though. That's true. I don't. Small guys can be just as big as the bad guys, maybe even worse. Just as bad as the big guys, maybe even worse. And look at the crowd. There's a couple of thousand people here, which is a lot. Sometimes I wish I could just tell them all the truth. The bell rings. It's time. Hey! Dad yells from the kitchen. I flinch as I feel like my stomach is suddenly tied in a knot. Not now, please. Dad walks in. He's wearing all camouflage with an undersized scout cap that seems to squeeze his head. What are you doing? What, you surprised at my wrestling knowledge? I'm a wrestling fan, brah. I look down at my feet and pick out some fibers of the rug. I don't respond. I hear him step in front of me. The crowd chanting at the TV catches his attention and stops. You know you can't be watching this. And you also know what today is. You're still in your pajamas. Watching this. Dad lets out a noise I really can't describe. I look up and he's pointing at the TV. He stands there watching for a moment. What are you doing to that other man? German suplex! German suplex. You get behind someone and you toss them over the back of your head as your back hits the mat. You're just fucking blam. It's a suplex onto someone's fucking neck. It's a brutal move. It's a brutal fucking move. Popularized by Brock Lesnar. And this is fun for you? You enjoy watching this? I don't know. It was just on. I lie. Dad looks down at me and I can't tell whether he believes me or not. When I say something, you need to listen. Last night I told you to be dressed in the clothes I gave you and be ready to go by 5. It's over 15 past 5 and you're not even dressed. I'm sorry, okay? Dad sighs, stepping out of the room. His footsteps are heavy, like he doesn't care that Mom and my brothers are still trying to sleep. Next thing I know, he's back in the living room. He tosses another camouflage outfit into my lap and sets a rifle on the couch. When your mother and I talked about sending you up north to your uncle, we were not joking. Dad. He points again at the TV. And there's certainly no television up there, no violent video games, and no adults that tolerate this sort of behavior. I ball my paws up into my fists, pushing them into my stomach. Don't say anything. Anytime you say anything, it makes it worse. Dad looks at my paws, then lets out a strained, amused-sounding grunt. What, are you gonna hit me? Do you want to punch me now? Is that what you're learning? Again, he's pointing at the TV. His eyeballs are bulging and his mouth is hanging wide open. The way his hat tugs at his head makes him look different, scrunching his features. I don't know why he's wearing it. It looks uncomfortable. I'm so sick of your behavior. We are all so sick of your behavior. I feel my breathing start to get shaky. Don't cry. Don't give him the satisfaction. Are you sick? He just keeps staring at me, that same expression on his face. I drop Tiger's torso down on my knee, a backbreaker. Oh, that's, you pick someone up, they're laying head, feet, facing up. You go to a kneeling thing and you drop them on the crowd roars. I'm grinning beneath my mask, playing up the part, through all the jeering and the hatred. They may love to hate me, but that's still love. Tiger has been getting a lot of good blows in, though. Actual blows. He stiff arms like nobody's business. That's called strong style. Or it's called being a bad worker. I'm a little bloody, but that's okay. I'm tough. That's my thing. I'm tough. I'm really tough. But so is Tiger. He's small, so he's got a lot of finesse, and he can dodge a lot of my stuff. I climb over the top rope and onto the floor mat below. They always keep a few goodies beneath the ring for people like me. Oh yeah, the Bane backbreaker to Batman. Ugh, that's a good pop culture reference. Pulling the flap behind a pile of long wooden staves. Kendo stick? These could cause some pain. I yell to the crowd and they boo in response. They're really, really mad. You do not fuck around with the rules in Mexico, brother. Tiger's still groaning, prone on his belly. As I approach, he mutters something in Spanish that sounds like a bunch of cuss words. Not so good after all, I guess. Time to get revenge for all those stiff hits from earlier. With a mighty heave, I bring the staff down on the Tiger's back. He practically bounces, and a lady fan of Tiger in the crowd screams. Realizing how hard I'm hitting now, he quickly scrambles up to his knees. Though I just hit him to get right back down. That's what you get. His shoulder twitches and he quickly clutches it with his free hand, rolling onto his stomach. More curses. I hit him again, this time with the soft of his stomach. There's no referee to help him now. I hear him gasp, holding out his paw in front of him, trying to protect himself. This time I hit him in the crotch. Not that there's much to hit. He has a little penis and balls because he's so small. Mine are huge, of course. I have to wear like a super big cup that looks like that so things don't flop around. I drop down on him, grabbing him by the scruff of his spandex leotard. He whimpers beneath me, his black and orange tail coiled inwards between his legs. I lower my voice, speaking at a deep, raspy tone. Don't stiff arm me again like that or else, Tiger Santos. I think he quivers out an I won't. He's probably so humiliated now. His eyes are like saucers looking at me and waiting to see what I do next, like completely at my mercy and everything. I bet he'd be really humiliated if I, unmasked him. You do not do that! You do not do that! And then I'll pull him up and hug him in front of everybody. He'd be so ashamed. I'd show them that I'm the real good guy. Maybe he'd like that and feel better. That's fine, too. I place my thumbs beneath the bottom of his mask and pull up. No, you do not unmask a fucking luchador. You do not do that. That is super disrespectful. A wrestler's mask is their whole identity. You do not fuck with a wrestler's mask. Dad's gunshot rings out so loud it seems to shake the leaves off the trees nearby. Some kind of bird falls from the sky. I think it's a dove because it's all white and stuff. At least it was white. I actually saw a pink mist and the bird shot hit it like in the movies. The rest of the flock keeps flying as if nothing had happened. Dad looks over his shoulder towards me, his eye breathing heavy. You see little wisps of fog as he exhales. It's that cold. It seems to take him a while to speak. You see that?
Yeah.
He smiles tightly. I got him!
You did.
I'm gonna go grab the carcass. You stay put, alright?
Okay.
Dad turns back, jogging across the dewy grass towards where the bird fell. I adjust myself some and lean against the nearby tree. I wish I was home. My friends are all still probably sleeping in, enjoying their warm, heated houses and all that. I can't focus here. It sucks, but Dad really wanted to go bird hunting. I asked him yesterday why he couldn't just do it all alone, and he and Mom just got really mad. I don't even know what sets them off anymore. It just could just be the littlest thing, and suddenly everything is all shitty. My rifle is kind of neat, I guess. It's a .22. I played a zombie shooting game at Chase's. Oh! This is Sydney! I forgot they even mentioned that Sydney liked wrestling. Oh, shit! Oh! We're Sydney right now! Ha ha ha! Oh! You fucker! Oh, shit! I was like, why the fuck is Chase watching wrestling? I played a zombie shooting game at Chase's place that had the exact same kind in it. It's really, really loud, though. Dad made me wear these big ear protectors, so that's still super intense. I swivel it around in my arms before bringing the butt up to my shoulder and looking down the sights. I pretend the bush I'm aiming at is a zombie. I could survive in a zombie apocalypse pretty well, probably. Oh, shit! Remember how we were fucking gossiping about an accident? I don't remember. Oh, shit. They said it was a hunting accident, and Sydney got all upset because we were talking about it, and... Oh! It's all tying together! Vince McMahon! I could survive in a zombie apocalypse pretty well, probably. There wouldn't be many zombies in Echo. Nearly everyone in town has guns. I just go to Carl's house. It's already like a fortress, and he has tons of food and games. Yeah, we all know how this is gonna fucking end. We'd be set. I hear Dad's footsteps and quickly lower the rifle. That's right, keep that down. He holds up a pretty messed up looking bird, its neck half missing and blood still drips from the hole there. You've never eaten dove, have you? No. It's like chicken, but stringier. I raise an eyebrow. Like string cheese, but chicken. Not exactly, but... well, you'll just have to try it. Okay. Now, let's see if you can shoot something. Dad steps behind me, placing his paws on my arms and straightening my posture. Now, remember what I told you. Always fire on the exhale. Don't flinch at the kick, either. The gun won't smack you if you got a good grip on it and your eye isn't touching the sight. I'm not afraid to shoot a gun like TJ or Carl probably would be. Just a little nervous about the recoil. That's all. Suddenly Dad grabs my shoulders. Look! He points toward the sky directly above us. A bunch of birds in V-shaped formation are overhead. Those are ducks! Duck's great! You've had duck before and loved it. Now you can get your own duck. Hurry, get sighted! I scramble to get the gun up and aim, my eye lined up with the sight. Come on! I'm trying! The ducks are already getting pretty far ahead. I can't seem to get lined up right. Give it to me! No, I've got it! Next thing I know, Dad's wrenching the butt from my shoulder and bringing the rifle up to his. It only takes him a few seconds to get ready before firing. Just like before, the bird falls from the flock, plummeting to the ground and past a clearing of trees. This time, the flock breaks up, scattering. Dad turns, pushing the length of the rifle against my chest. Take your gun! I clutch onto it with bare hands, and Dad starts making his way forward. I follow. Why didn't you fire?
I was going to. The aiming thing, the sight wasn't lining up with my eye. I needed to get it lined up right or else I was going to miss.
Son.
And then you just yanked it away.
You're not listening to what I was telling you, just like what I was saying this morning. Dad's voice raises. You just can't do anything like you're told, can ya? My fingers grip my rifle tighter, and it's like everything goes red. I can't! You were being an asshole! Asshole! I yell so loud that my voice cracks. Oh, you fucker. Dad turns slapping me so hard it makes my ears ring more than the gunshots do. My face burns and I growl into the inside of my jacket. A lump forms in my throat as I try to swallow it down. I'm tough. I'm okay. Who taught you to speak like that? Nobody. Oh no, I think I know who. It was Flynn, wasn't it? It was right for you. It isn't right for you to hang around a boy like that. What do you even mean? All the kids around Echo and you cling to the teenage potty-mouthed gay boy. Ooh, goddamn. And look what happened. Shakes his head, eyes wide again like he can't believe that he's seeing when he looks at me. You defy your parents to sit around at 5 in the morning watching men grope and hit each other. I'm breathing so hard now, it feels like I'm hyperventilating. Fuck you! Wrestling's cool and Flynn is awesome! Dad looks downright disgusted now, like he's gonna be sick. The insides of his ears are bright pink with flush, too. You're sick. When we get home, we're sending you up north to the ranch. I don't care if we have to pull you out of school right now. You mean the compound? Now he's clenching his fists, his tail arched and still behind him. Your mother and I have prayed and prayed, but son, why don't you ever leave me alone? You're so fucking bad, you know that, stupid asshole? Dad steps forward, fist raged. I bring my rifle up and aim at him. He stops. You are sick. Never heard Dad speak with so much hate before. That being said, I've never been this angry before either. You're pointing a rifle at your own father. You gonna shoot me, huh? I just don't want you to hit me! I yell so loud my voice shifts to a shrieking scream, the rifle shaking in my paws. Everything's all blurry and I can feel my nose running. You deserve to be hit. Words make my stomach hurt for some reason. I throw down the rifle onto the grass and face him. No, you do! You're so awful! I hate you so much. God damn! You won't leave me alone, you shit! All you do is threaten me and threaten me and threaten me! And Mom doesn't care! Nobody cares! My throat burns as I swallow back a blubbering cry. Dad's shaking now. He doesn't even look like Dad anymore. I don't know what in God's name Flynn has done to you. You're just mad because you don't have any friends. You don't even have a job. You suck. You're so shitty. You're pathetic. I've hated you for so long. Nobody likes you. I run north, tripping over myself constantly as I can barely see where I'm going. Everything hurts. My insides are burning. Nothing will ever be the same again. I can hear him behind me, panting, furious like a feral. I come through the clearing, then I hear him stop. When I turn around, he's not looking at me anymore. The duck that Dad had shot landed squarely on the hood of an abandoned van. Dad looks at the duck, the van, me, then the sky itself. He sets the rifle down on the ground and crouches down in the haunches. His knuckles hang limp on the grass. What is he doing? Son. What? Pray with me. I can't help but make a sputtering noise. Why? Dad doesn't respond. I don't believe in any of that. I just did it because you made me do it. Dad begins to shake again, staring at the van before closing his eyes. Dear God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Fuck! 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 Fucky fuck! Holy shit! shit. He either shoots himself or Sydney has to shoot him in self-defense, but that was fucking intense, wasn't it? Jesus. The fuck, man. Well, I guess that's it for this episode of Echo. Oh, man. All right. Well, thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been the trained up professional speaking for myself. And Jesus, when I say until next time, fare thee well. Welcome back, y'all. Fuck.